Faithful. I'm your host, Matt Trask. We got to keep it kind of snappy today because Johnny has dinner with his mom.
That's right.
Thanks to Johnny. Thanks to Heritage Music Works. Please like, support, and share their YouTube channel. And please like, share, and support my YouTube channel. Remember my friends at Black Hills Bend Espresso. That's enough of that. I am so excited to have Mr. Bob Morgret finally on the show. How are you?
I am doing well.
Besides your back hurting, two hurting backs
Doing
here on the
fine.
show today.
Talking guitars, playing guitars, makes me
Talking
feel
guitars,
better.
playing guitars. I have known this man for 10 years now, probably.
Probably,
And
yeah.
and this, we have a true Old Faithful on the show
We do.
today. But why don't we go?
I'm not that old.
No, what I meant is one man, one guitar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why don't we go from their perspective as left to right? Well, tell us about you quickly.
Okay. I've been playing music since the late 60s.
Okay.
And I've played all the different kind of stuff. My first gig was actually the first time I held a guitar.
Wow.
The band, the gentleman that got me started, a guy named Rich Newman, he's a video guy out of California now.
Okay.
I wanted to play, and he put a guitar in my hand, said, "Come on stage and do what we do." I have no idea what it was they were doing, but and it turned out the guitar that he gave me to try to play was an acoustic lap steel.
Okay.
So I'm trying to push down half-inch action
Right.
on there and think, well, I just got to tough it out and learn how to play.
Sure.
But that's where I started, and
Baptized by fire.
yeah.
Were you
and I just
unplugged
loved
at
it.
this gig?
Was unplugged,
Okay.
fortunately.
All right.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah. And then we started a band. There was 3 guitar players and a drummer. We tossed a coin on who was going to learn to play bass. I lost that toss and had to go buy a bass, which turned out to be one of the best things ever. Cause
Sure.
I played bass as much as I play guitar, just about. But I've been playing. It kept me out of trouble as a teenager.
Yeah.
I have actually an 18-year-old grandson who's following the same path right now.
Okay.
He comes home from school and just plays guitar. We get together and work on stuff, and it's just delightful to see how music can help soothe the savage beast.
Right.
basically.
And he's keeping out of trouble.
He is.
Uh-huh.
Which is really good.
Well,
For an 18-year-old, yeah.
Yeah, you gotta love that. Stay out of trouble, buddy.
That's right.
Maybe get in a little trouble. Don't tell anybody.
Don't tell his mom. Yeah.
Don't tell your mom. So, very quickly, I always ask, what was your first guitar?
A Sears acoustic.
Okay.
My parents bought me, I told them I'd been taking piano lessons.
Okay.
I grew up around music. That's kind of a fun story, my heritage there, but I grew up plinking on piano because that was the only thing available.
Sure. Right.
Then I heard some rock and roll on the radio, and I wanted to be a rock and roll star.
Oh, sure.
So I didn't want to study piano, but they didn't figure I'd study guitar either.
Oh, sure.
So they bought me a $10 guitar,
Uh-huh.
and I wore that out. The first song that I learned to play was House of the Rising Sun.
Hey, nice.
Yeah, my dad heard the friend who got me play that. He didn't know what it was about, fortunately.
Oh.
He just heard him play. He said,
Right.
if you ever learn to play that, I'll buy you an electric guitar.
Sure.
I did, and he did,
Sure.
and I've been playing pretty much ever since then.
Staying out of trouble while
Yeah.
singing about houses of ill repute and
Yeah,
such.
but
Yeah.
I didn't even know there was lyrics back then. I
Oh,
was
sure.
just-
You were just playing the
learning to
guitar.
just playing
I see.
guitar,
Gotcha.
yeah.
So, did this guitar by any chance have like cowboys or hula girls painted on
the
it?
very first one that I did when I played live with that band.
Okay.
The Hawaiian guitar had that.
Oh,
Otherwise,
it
the
did.
Sears guitar had nothing on
Nothing
it.
on it.
Until I decided to make it fancy by gluing the Sunday comics to the cover, to the front of it. Not realizing that could affect the tone, although I'm not sure for $10 what you get for tone.
Right. Yeah.
Played that. Then I bought myself a Harmony Sovereign. That was
Oh,
my first nice
no
acoustic,
way.
yeah. And
Do you still have
kinda-
that?
No, I kind of wore that out.
Yeah.
And then I had moved. I was at that time I was in high school, living in Chicago, and moved to Kansas City and wanted to upgrade. And so I knew of a little store, I think it was Burke's Music in Wheaton, Illinois.
Uh-huh.
And one day I drove from Kansas City to Chicago, found a Guild D25 I'd been wanting,
Yeah.
bought that. That was my first, high-end
Sure.
acoustic. I still have that.
Wow.
That was in 71. I gave it to my son a few years back, and he said, "No, I don't play it. You need to keep playing it. Keep it exercise."
Right,
So I've got
yeah.
Solid mahogany. I have a thing about mahogany acoustics. And
Yeah.
So I
Very
still
cool.
play that. And
And when you lost the rock, paper, scissors, or drew the short
Yeah.
straw or whatever and had to buy a bass,
Yeah.
what kind of bass was your
A
first bass?
Kingston.
A Kingston?
Yeah, I had to pay a whole $35 for it.
Wow.
At a pawn shop.
Right.
Short scale, and I was horrible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had no idea what I was supposed to do with it.
Sure.
So I'm trying to play whatever the guitar players are playing.
Right.
And I was playing with the youth group at the church at the time, and the lady was kind enough to take me aside and say, Bob, you suck. And here's why. If you do this, you won't suck so bad.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so she started, talked about playing the root note of the chord
Uh-huh.
and playing on the beat and that sort of thing. Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
Right.
So I started
Yeah.
doing that and learned how to play. And
You got
Slow.
some musical discipline from a hard-nosed church lady.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she was a kind, hard-nosed church lady.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
nothing wrong. God bless you.
That's
She's probably
right.
gone now.
Probably.
Yeah. So we better get to these
Yes.
guitars from their view, left to
Uh-huh.
right. So ours
Okay.
too, I guess, when we turn around. Tell us about this sparkly.
Okay. This one is my daughter's guitar. She
Okay.
lets me exercise it.
Aha.
And I use it live and drop D tuning. It's got just a really rich sound to it. It's probably a 10-year-old guitar.
Okay.
It's one of the imported line that Paul Reed Smith did.
Okay.
Made them affordable. That came about because of a conversation he had with Carlos Santana,
Mm-hmm.
saying we need to make something affordable, a student edition. So this is a lightweight one, obviously a glitter bomb, and it's got a great tone to it. It's
Right.
lightweight. The neck is their medium neck on it.
Okay.
And I've had a number of Paul Reed Smiths with the medium necks, and they play really well.
Sure.
But they're not my favorite.
Okay.
They don't
All right.
inspire me to play as much.
Sure. Yeah.
So this is my daughter's guitar, and I love playing it. Again, for drop D, it's a killer sound. Regular tuning also. But
and
special.
since you brought it up, and I forgot,
Mm-hmm.
tell the folks which band you play in.
Oh, I just joined a band called Revolver. Out of
I did not
Spearfish.
know this.
Yeah. I'd been playing with Crash Wagon for the last 8 years, and the band, after I think 18 years, finally retired.
Okay.
So I needed something else to do. Our bass player found a new band, and he heard about Revolver and sent me a link. So I joined them probably a month ago now.
Okay.
Just having a blast working on stuff. We've got gigs coming up,
Aha.
and I get to just let her rip.
Look for Revolver here in the Black
That's right.
Hills area soon.
Yeah.
Coming up.
It's supposed to be New Year's Eve at the Knuckle in
Wow.
Sturgis.
I may have New
Yeah.
Year's Eve plans
Yeah.
now. Yeah.
I do.
And the middle one.
So this one I bought 2.5 years ago. It was when they came out with their American line semi-hollow CE24.
Okay.
The custom electric CE24, so it's a bolt-on neck, which I prefer.
Okay.
The maple neck, the maple top, obviously. It's weighs 6 pounds.
Okay.
And seeing as I've had, in the last 3 years, my right shoulder's been replaced twice, and it's still not working.
Oh.
I have back and neck issues. I
Sure.
need something lightweight.
Right.
So I bought this one, and it does the job really well.
Sure.
It's got your standard 3-way switch and push-pull for splitting the pickups. I'm not as much of a fan of the split sound this
Sure.
way as the one we'll get to there.
Okay.
But this one, it plays amazingly well. And
Does
it's
this have the
easy to
neck
play.
carve that you like?
It does. This
Okay.
is their wide, thin neck.
Okay. All
And
right.
that fits my hand perfectly. It's one of those that just inspires me to play.
Uh-huh.
So that's why, this is their more medium. It's not fat.
Right.
It plays really good, but I feel more comfortable playing these.
Sure.
Just some neck, you pick them up, oh, yeah. And you want to play, and this is one of those, and it's just super lightweight.
Awesome.
So that's why I went to that, and it has served me well. I've been playing it, 2.5 years now.
Cool.
We'll keep playing it. 'Cause
So do you take all three of these to
No.
your gigs? No.
no, I've been taking the one I'm holding right here, and then the glitter bomb to the gigs, because we did probably 6 songs of drop D tuning.
Okay. All
And
right.
we didn't want to waste time in between
Sure.
tuning, so I
Retuning.
had a foot switch. I could switch between the 2 different guitars.
With a
and-
band named Revolver and 6 songs in drop D tuning,
Well,
did we
that's
get a
the new
Boss
band.
DS1?
No,
No.
but I have. That would be fun. I have another pedal. It's basically a Klon Centaur clone
Nice.
with a built-in tube screamer clone and then a compressor.
Oh, wow.
Pedal.
So we can get as dirty as we need.
Yeah. Oh, and then I also have the Dark Side pedal with fuzz tone and the
Hey.
Leslie and all that in it. So
Perfect.
I use the Leslie a lot.
On
dress
to
stuff
your
up.
baby, which
This is
you
my
have
baby.
now retired this from live
Well,
performance.
I have, except the last few weeks, I play bass with friend Donnie Williams on Sunday nights.
Okay.
And I've been started out playing my micro bass, my little ukulele fretless bass, because I like playing fretless, and it weighs about nothing.
Right.
And then I bought a short scale electric bass, an Epiphone Alan Woody bass, which is really nice.
Right.
Lightweight because it's semi-hollow also. But I have a PV Cirrus that I bought in 2000 that is my favorite. It's 5-string. That's what I prefer, and it sounds really good, but it's heavy.
Sure.
So that's why I avoided playing it.
Right.
But the last several weeks I've played it, and it hasn't given me any issues.
Oh.
But then why not bring this back out?
Right.
So this week, actually, I restrung this and started playing it again.
Wow.
So I'm hoping to start bringing this back out again.
Okay.
This is my baby.
Okay.
This is my favorite one.
Go ahead and tell us all about it.
Okay. Part of what makes it my favorite is it has PRS's 5-way rotary switch.
Okay.
So this actually does single coil type sounds. I can get a great Strat sound with it.
Sure.
As well as the humbucker sounds. And I've always liked that.
Mm-hmm.
I started out as a Strat man anyway for years. And then I discovered these guitars. And I have Don Laerdal to blame for that.
Oh.
In 92 I guess it was, he had a pawn shop. And I came in there one day and says, Bob, you going to play this guitar? And I played it. I thought, well, that's really nice. And it was a used guitar.
Sure.
I said, well, that's really cool. So how much is he? He said, well, $900. Are you crazy? $900 for a used guitar? So, but it's a Paul Reed Smith.
Sure.
Said, who is that? He didn't say much more about it. Just let me play it.
Right.
And I got thinking about it. And fell in love with it. Went back and it was sold.
And bought it. Oh,
no,
it was sold. Oh, okay.
So shortly after that, I went to Denver for a U2 concert with my wife and kids in our little Nissan Sentra. And I stopped at a music store out on East Colfax.
Mm-hmm.
And they had a used one in stock for $900.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
It was a 92.
Okay.
The bolt-on neck, again, that's what I like.
Okay.
And the maple neck, and I bought it on the spot, and we just had to kind of, throw suitcases on the road so I'd have room for my guitar. So, yeah, thanks to Don, I've now developed an expensive habit.
But this is not that one.
Nope. That one was a blue, which I just loved. But I got the idea, okay, if I like this one so much, I bet if I custom ordered one with the Strat type setup, have the single coil metal, it would sound even better.
Right.
So I saved up and I custom ordered one from Paul Reed Smith. It took 6 months to get here, and it came, and I didn't like it near as much as the one I just sold.
Oh.
Which was really frustrating. But at that time, I didn't understand very much on what difference the different woods made in the tone.
Yeah.
So I started researching that and discovered that this is a 92. Anything from 94 and earlier of the CE24, the bolt-on 24 fret neck, had an alder body.
Okay.
With a maple cap.
Sure.
And that was the tone I liked.
Okay.
The custom ordered one I had was mahogany, like a Les Paul.
Sure.
And it didn't do that much for me.
Uh-huh.
So I sold that and went in search of something 94 or older.
Sure.
And I found this on eBay. And it was supposedly the Alex Lifeson model. I'm a fan of Rush, and I thought, well, that'd be cool. But I got it for a really good price.
Right.
And so after purchasing it, I emailed Paul Reed Smith to say, so what are the features about an Alex Lifeson model that make it that? And they said, we never made an Alex Lifeson model. They said, why do you say that? I said, because I took a picture, showed him the picture.
Right.
Under the pickup has his name and the custom color and all that. I said, well, it wasn't this model. We made that for him.
Uh-huh.
That was his custom ordered guitar that he played. And then I found videos and pictures of him playing this guitar on stage.
Cool.
So it came originally with a 3-way switch.
Oh, it
That's what
did?
he likes, yep. But I pulled it out and ordered the 5-way, which fit right in the hole.
It did.
I still have the 3-way, but I like the 5-way. I like the tones that you get, the in between those Strat kind of tones.
The rotary.
And this neck is even nicer than this one here. Supposedly the same carve, but there's something just slightly different with this one.
Right.
And when I pick it up,
that's just your baby.
Inspires me to play. Yeah.
And you've taken such good care of it.
Well, yeah. You take good care of things that you care about.
Well, not all of us do that, buddy.
No, but I do.
Kudos to you. So, as quickly as I can, these are Paul Reed Smith guitars, and one of the main, and I didn't know you'd replace that.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't had a PRS. I haven't had very many PRSs on the show, with the old rotary knob.
Yep.
Paul Reed Smith was a relentless perfectionist, and
Still
he
is, yeah.
he did not like the selector switches that were available at the time that he started making guitars. And we have mentioned Carlos Santana once, who has become a PRS endorser and player. And as the story goes, Paul Reed Smith, part of his marketing strategy was to sneak into venues and get these guitars in the hands. And they got one into the hands of Carlos, and he played it. And he said, he's kind of a spiritual sort of guy. He said, that one's got the mojo, like the angels kiss that. You can't do that again.
And he wouldn't give it back.
And Paul went and did it again.
Yeah.
And Carlos said, okay, I'm convinced.
Yeah.
So, do we have anything? This has been great fun. We had a guitar saga. We had tone chasing adventures, misadventures, sold a good guitar, custom ordered one we didn't like. Everything I love on the show. Do we have anything else we need to talk about?
Interesting, and mentioned kind of my lineage of playing music.
Absolutely.
I grew up in an orphanage, and I was adopted at 11, and my adopted mother was a concert pianist.
Okay.
And we moved to Chicago when they'd have, at that time in the late 60s, Southern Gospel Quartets were the big thing for entertainment.
Okay.
And all the big bands that come to town, she was their accompanist. So they'd come over to our house and practice. And so I'd be surrounded by this music. We'd have dinner with them, just wonderful people. And I started playing piano more, still playing guitar. So I got to know those guys. And then in 96, I got to meet, by a fluke, kind of, my birth family.
Oh!
And I met my father, who I'd never remembered, and he got talking to me, oh, yeah, you play music? Well, yeah, you got, he says, my uncle, which would be my great-uncle, was some classical composer, and I can't stand his music. It's way too dark. I said, so who is it? He said, it was Gustav Mahler. So he's my great-uncle, and I've loved his music. That's the kind of stuff, when I think classical, which it technically isn't, that's the stuff I like to listen to, because it's got movements to it.
Right.
Like a voice, like a guitar. It takes you places.
Sure.
It isn't just all frills.
Yeah.
And so, well, okay, I don't have any choice but to play music and get serious about it. So I have, and I've just enjoyed that. I see pictures of him, and I look a whole lot more like him than I do my father. Which I'm glad.
Right,
But yeah, so it's just one of those kind of funny things that you find out things later, and okay, yeah, I need to do this. I have a responsibility here to carry it on.
I'll be dang.
Yeah.
That is among the most amazing stories we've ever had on the show.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Just made it up on the way in. But, no, actually, that's true. We went back and looked up the lineage. And, he was from Czechoslovakia originally, and he came over, ran the Metropolitan Opera House for years. And so it was an interesting thing to find out, but quite delightful.
Sure. Very nice.
Yeah.
Cool. Are you ready? I'm going to do a little spiel, and then are you ready to play us out?
Well,
Just a little something?
I suppose,
Yeah. Okay. Remember my sponsorship with Trask Hay LLC, large round and square bales, and custom haying. You might need a custom haying operator next year. Call Joe Trask, 515-0858. And Alex Lifeson from Rush says, change your strength.
That's
Ladies
right.
and gentlemen, Bob Morgan.
I'm not sure what we'll get here.
Just play a little bit.
So as I was
for watching. We'll see you next week. Woo!
Thank you.